So, suppression of grief versus healthy expression of grief. There is such a thing as expressing your grief in a healthy way. There's also such a thing as suppressing your grief, which is not healthy, okay? So, let's talk about suppression of grief. Some of the ways that people suppress their grief is number one, avoidance, which they're steering clear of reminders or conversations about the loss. As I said, to give you an example, my children were 4 and 7 when my husband died. My oldest daughter, at the time, she was in complete avoidance mode. My youngest baby, she kept saying, and again, children that are below the age of 5, they're very black and white. They don't really understand what's going on. So my youngest baby, in addition to her asking who's going to be our father now, our daddy now, she kept saying, well, if mommy would have took daddy to a different hospital, he wouldn't have died. And just innocent, she didn't know. My oldest daughter at the time was 7, and every time my baby girl would say that, she would say, stop saying that, stop talking about it. Like, she didn't want to talk about it, she didn't want to think about it. Okay, so avoidance is a form of suppression of grief. The next form of suppression of grief is emotional numbing. This is appearing detached or indifferent or masking your true feelings to what happened. Okay, the next example is physical symptoms. Grief can show up in your body. If you suppress it, it can show up in negative ways. This can be increased stress, fatigue, or unexplained aches. There is such a thing as having just random aches and pains that don't have anything to do with, any health issues, but it could be directly related to people suppressing grief. Another form of suppression of grief is isolation. This is withdrawing from friends and family and avoiding support completely. Now, there are some times where you may be going through it and you just don't want to be around people because you feel like the people around you, even though they love you, they don't understand. That's how I felt when I found myself 38 years old with 2 small children and I was widowed. Like, there were times where I had to just be by myself. It wasn't an unhealthy isolation. It was me just needing to be by myself because I felt like nobody in the world could really understand what I was going through unless they were another widow and they were on the same journey.